I hate to start the show off with a Trump thing, but it's, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? He was doing a little interview yesterday about the Mueller report, and he wanted people to look into the origins of the Mueller report, the origins of the beginning. The origins of the beginning, what are you talking about? It's the same thing. Oh, God. Oh, stop. Oh, God, read a book. Read a book. Anyway, for some reason, he couldn't say the word origins. Instead, it came out oranges. Yeah.
And I hope that this investigation now, which is finished, it's totally finished, no collusion, no obstruction. I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings of that investigation. You look at the origin of the investigation, where it started, how it started, who started it, whether it's McCabe or Comey or a lot of them. Where does it go? How high up in the White House did it go? You will all get Pulitzer Prizes, okay? You're going to all get Pulitzer Prizes. You should have looked at it a long time ago. And that's the only thing that's disappointing to me about the Mueller report. The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges, how it started, the beginnings of the investigation.
Oh, God.
On the air everywhere, this is New England Broadcasting.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
For those of us that are educated, that is so embarrassing. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. How you doing today? How you feeling? Feeling all right? This is a good time slap happy show. So, no, it's not. So you ready to have a good time today on the program? I'm not ready. Isn't life beautiful in every single way? Not so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please hold your applause to the end of the program. It screws me up when you give me the standing ovation like you just did, theoretically. Welcome to the program. I am not feeling great. Thanks for your cards and letters, but I'm telling you, I'm not feeling great. I thought this was allergies because the spring thing was coming, spring forward. No. I thought that there was like pollen in the air and things and that, and my throat was getting sore, and I got a little runny nose. I thought that was no. I think I have a tiny little cold. It's not debilitating or anything like that. I'm not sneezing all over the place. I'm not coughing all over the place, but I'm not feeling 100%, man. I'm feeling like 73%. No. 72%. No. 75. Yeah, 75. 74%. That's how I'm feeling. What's the phrase? Starve a child, feed the cold, eat some noodles, touch find a roommate, charge them more money, eat a watermelon, drink a cantaloupe. What's that phrase? Starve a dog, eat a piece of bologna. What is that? Feed a cold, starve a child. Starve, don't eat, but do eat. Water a plant, don't eat a plant. I don't know the phrase. I have no idea what it is. I don't know. Is it eat a cold, starve yourself, starve the flu, eat a cold. Start eating a cold, feed the flu. Drink plenty of, don't feed it. Feed the cold, don't starve the child. No. Eat the flu. Have the flu, not the cold. No. Eat the lettuce, not the tomato. Starve a cold, feed measles. I don't know what the phrase is. Anyway, how are you? Good to see you. Well, that wasted time. I went to a cocktail lounge yesterday to have a little bit of lunch. You know, I know. See, I don't like to go to a restaurant and eat alone at a table. That's like a spotlight on loneliness. Oh, look at that guy over there sitting by himself. He's got no friends. What a lonely, pathetic life he must have. Look at him. He doesn't know anybody. Should we go over there and prod him with a stick? No, leave him alone. We don't know what's wrong with him. He couldn't find anybody to eat with him. Hey, first of all, I don't need somebody to eat with me to eat. I'm very, very hungry. Why don't you have some food? I have nobody to eat with. I mean, that's stupid. Since when do you need somebody to eat with? I only eat by myself because I don't want to sit there watching other people chew their food. To me, that's not a social event. Hey, I got a great idea. Let's go to a restaurant. You shovel food in your mouth, churn it around as you're talking to me, and I'll sit across from you and watch all the food drip out of your lips. That should be fun. What a social engagement that will be. No, I don't enjoy eating with people. I'll eat next to people because then I can't see their mouth churning the food. But sitting across from people in a social environment, no way. What are you, nuts? But I don't like to go to a restaurant and sit there and eat by myself because I do feel like Mr. Lonely. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at him. What a horrible life he must, all alone. Oh, no. Oh, no. What a sad thing. Oh, he's so alone. So I eat at the bar, what the hell. So I'm sitting there, and about 2 seats away from me is a man and another man. 2 men. They're both professional. One's got a suit on. The other is well-dressed, but no suit. The one that was well-dressed, but no suit, had a case of verbal diarrhea. He just talked and talked and talked, all about himself. He talked about his Saturday. I woke up in the morning, I brushed my teeth, and then I went into the kitchen, and I wanted some cereal. I'm getting to the story in a minute. So I wanted some cereal. I ate the cereal. I wanted a little bit more cereal, so I put some more cereal in the bowl. I ate that. My daughter says to me, when are you going to be back? I said at about 5 o'clock. So I'm driving down to the golf course. This is a funny story. I'm driving down to the golf course. I put the car in drive so it goes forward, and I'm making all the turns and stuff to get to the golf course. I come to a red light. I sat there until it turned green, and then I went forward, okay? And I got to the golf course, and I put one foot out of the car, then the other foot, and closed the door and locked the car. Then this is a great story, you'll see. Then I get to the golf course, and I get into the pro shop, and Manny is there. And I said, "Hi, Manny, how are you?" And he said, "Good, how are you?" And so this guy wouldn't shut up. And the guy he was talking to in the suit, all he could say was, oh, right, 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 yeah, I know, yeah, right, yeah, right. Oh, it was pathetic. But here's what drove me crazy. I am a man who's somewhat literate. Somewhat. Not the most literate. Certainly not the worst. But I'm up on the 74%, let's say, 75%. So, but the guy is using two phrases which drive me crazy. As he's relaying the story to me, not to me, to the guy. And I was hearing it, so it was like to me as well. You can't walk away. I mean, he's in earshot. What am I supposed to do? You can't turn around and tell the guy to shut up.
Shut up!
You can't do that. I would have liked to, but I didn't. So as the guy is speaking dialogue. He's saying what the people said to them and what he said to the people. For example, I walked into the pro shop and Manny was there. And I go, "How are you, Manny?" And he goes, "I'm fine." And I say, and I go to him. He says, like, I can't stand that. Just do it. Nobody goes. When you're speaking, nobody goes. And he goes, "How are you?" And he goes, "It might rain out today." And he goes, "You should wear a raincoat." He doesn't go. He says he doesn't go. Go is a verb that shows movement. He's talking. There's no movement involved here. He says like. What do you mean he says like? You're telling me, you're quoting me and saying that's what he said. You're quoting what the guy said. He says like, "It's going to rain outside." I said like, "Why?" He said like, "No, there's no liking of this. Nobody's liking this at all. When you're talking and you're expressing yourself, you're not liking. There's no such thing as liking." He liked loud at me. No, you can't like loud at somebody. He's not liking. He says like, don't tell me what like he said. Tell me what he said. Better yet, just shut the hell up, man. Shut up.
Shut up!
This story goes on like for 20 minutes from this guy, and I couldn't wait to leave. He seemed like a very together guy, but just so illiterate. It just bothers me. The bartender's a very nice woman, but she's too nice. And too nice to me is phony. I went to the South once in my life to the across the Mason-Dixon line. I don't know who these people are. I don't know Mason. I don't know Dixon. But apparently they drew a line in the sand and said, "From here south, you're in the South." So we go down there, and everybody's very pleasant, but they're overly pleasant. "Hi, how are you? How's your day going? How's every little thing going on? Can I get you anything? How you doing today? Isn't it a beautiful day? How you doing? How are you today?" Shut up! Overly nice. I don't buy it. You're like that to everybody. I don't mind pleasant. But if you're going to be phony, dramatic, pleasant, I don't get in that stuff. "Would you like a piece of pie? Hey, how are you today? Oh, hi. How are you? Oh, no, don't stop it." So this bartender was like that. She's being overly friendly, obviously for tips. She's prostituting herself. Now, I know prostitution is a different thing. That's money for sex. This is money for being served food and drinks. It's a form of prostitution. And guys do it too. I'm not throwing it on women, but women do it better. "How are you today? It's beautiful outside, isn't it? Are you from around here?" What the hell do you care if I'm around here or not? What is this, a lounge act? "Hey, how you doing? Where are you from? Good to see you here." "Hey, good to see you. Hey, what's your name? Hey, where are you from? Thanks for coming down today." It's not a lounge act. It's a bar. You can be pleasant without overdoing it. "Hi, my name's Mary. I'll be your bartender today. What shoe size are you?" "Why do you want to know my shoe?" "Oh, I'm just trying to get friendly. I'm friendly. What color underpants are you wearing today? Are you even wearing underpants?" "All right, come on." She actually didn't say that. I would find that fascinating. But no, she didn't say that. Do you wear underwear? Do you go to bed naked? Do you want to order lunch? Do you want to order lunch? Do you go to bed naked? Do you want to order lunch?
The 3 sweetest words in podcasting? Ron Van Dam. Wow. Gave myself a little erection saying that one. And I forgot to turn off the microphone.
Yeah. Hey, my gosh. But it is springtime, isn't it? And don't you feel that urge just to let loose and just let one loose, just to stand in the middle of the street and pass gas, that's what spring is to me. Just, let it all out. Let it all come out. That's what I like. Went to a doctor yesterday for the first time. Had a little medical situation, which is fine. I'm good. Everything turned out well. But I went to a doctor it was a specialist. He's very, very special. The guy's very, very nice. Very nice guy. And it was amazing how I revered the man, like this. The doctor will see you now. Oh, the kingdom is open? Oh, okay. I shall be seen now by the doctor. I shall be seen in all my glory. The doctor shall be in momentarily. Oh, is this the build-up? Is this the build-up that we're doing here? Because if the doctor would just walk in immediately, it wouldn't be a big deal. But we got to have a build-up for this. The doctor will be here momentarily. Ooh, I can't wait. Ooh, this should be special. So then there's a knock on the door. I don't know why I didn't take any clothes off. I guess it's polite. And the doctor comes in, and all of a sudden it's like, here's a guy that came into the room that is better than me. I get that. I don't have an inferiority complex in any sense of the word, because I can pronounce origins easily without saying orange. I don't have an inferiority complex. Well, maybe 75%. But when a doctor walks in a room, it's almost like royalty has walked in. Like, wow, here's somebody who's achieved more than I did. Here's a person who went to school for a long time on purpose. Wow. Here's a person who can actually save my life if it were possible. This is a person who is very well educated, who apparently sits in a classroom and doesn't look at his or her watch all day. I admire that. This is a person who is a doctor, heals the sick, actually has a purpose in life that makes a difference. You don't meet many people like that. No, you don't. This is a doctor. This is someone who can heal you. So the doctor comes in, and I shake his hand, and I hope that some of that doctor passed on to me through the osmosis, through the handshake. And we talked, and he told me nice things, and he left. And we're going out to lunch next Thursday. But he's not going to sit across from me because I cannot watch him chew. I hate that. Don't you? All right.
Hi, this is Bob Robinson from Bob's Handy Around the House. I'm a local handyman. I've been in business for the last 50 years on my own, doing light repair work in our area. Whatever you need done. Carpentry, painting, floors, tiling, yard work. I can do it all for you. I'll come to your home and do the work for a very reasonable fee. Naked. I should probably mention that I will be naked while I do this work. Buck naked, not a stitch on me, waving in the wind, in my birthday suit, showing what God gave me, naked as a jaybird. I'll be naked the whole time. I show up naked, I do the work naked, you pay me while I'm naked. Bob's Handy Around the House, Bob Robinson. You can look me up on Facebook, where I am naked.
Interesting. Very interesting. Hey, But he does good work. What can I tell you? I am so unhandy. I am not handy. I am unhandy. I have no hand. I don't know how to build things. Every time I fix something, it gets worse. I don't know what it is about me. It's like I was cursed at birth or something by the unhandy angel. I can't do it. I can replace batteries, usually. I do that well. Hey, Ron, could you replace these batteries? I'm on it. I got that. I can't assemble anything. Anything that comes in a box and says requires assembly, I don't buy it. I just say, no, I'm sorry. I don't do assembly. I guess there's a store, IKEA, is that what it is? Where most of the stuff has to be assembled? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll walk in the store and walk around just to get lost and make believe, but I don't assemble. I'm sorry. I don't assemble. I do nothing of assembly types of things. I tried to assemble a bike once, and it turned out to look like a blender. I don't follow instructions. There's always like 20 pieces left over, and I always figure, well, that's in case one of the other pieces break, but it's not. They're supposed to be utilized. I put a bike together for one of my kids when they were much younger, and the kid looked up to me and said, there's no wheels on this thing. Oh, I forgot that part. I'm just not good at this. I'm not good at assembling anything. Instructions, no good. I like YouTube. YouTube has everything in video form to tell you how to do something. I can tolerate that. I'm not even good at that. But better than reading instructions and their stupid little illustrations. Most stuff comes from Japan. And in Japan and China, also, a lot of stuff from China, they don't really give a crap whether you can assemble the thing or not. You already bought it. Figure it out yourself. We'll give you instructions, but they're wrong. You have to figure it out. I can't. I'm sorry. It's not my thing. Ain't my thing, man. Ain't my thing. On every show, we interview somebody with great expertise, far more expertise than I have. But I do learn every show that I interview somebody. I pick up more information, as long as it doesn't involve assembling something. So let's talk to our guest right now.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Paul. How are you today?
Great. I'm doing great. Hope you're doing the same.
I'm doing good so far. This is Paul Gurbel. He's a doctor, an MD, an FACC, Director of Interventional Cardiology and Cardiovascular Medicine Research, and Professor of Medicine at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. He joins us today. We're talking about, let me start with a small story. My doctor at a certain age told me to have a baby aspirin every day, and I didn't question this. What's going on? Why am I doing that?
Well, this is due to a synthesis of all your risk factors, Ron.
Okay.
That's been assessed by your doctor.
All right.
He felt that you were at a certain level of risk for a cardiovascular event, and that's why he chose to put you on the aspirin.
Okay. Is this not a good idea for everybody?
Well, Ron, no drug is good for everybody.
Oh.
But the important thing is that patients who have heightened cardiovascular risk do benefit from aspirin therapy. And these are particularly the patients who've already had a stroke or who have already had a heart attack or who have a stent in their heart or who have undergone vascular surgical procedures to open up their arteries. These patients have a clear benefit of aspirin therapy. And the one important message I'd like to deliver today is that, there's been a lot of confusion due to these new guideline update for primary prevention. Primary prevention has to do with the prevention of a first event, not secondary prevention, which has to do with prevention of an event in someone who's already had an event, where aspirin plays a key role in improving the outcome of those patients. These are the patients who've already had an event.
Right.
So there's a difference between primary prevention and secondary prevention, but most importantly, patients should not change anything with their aspirin regimen until they first talk to their physician.
Right. Okay. I mean, I think the term that I use in my family is baby aspirin, because if a baby needs an aspirin, that's the dosage they get. I'm no baby, but I know I guess it's called low dosage aspirin, but I'm trying to figure out why that is not beneficial for everybody. I've never had a heart problem other than borderline high blood pressure, which is now under control, yet I was told to do this. So in my mind, it's like, how could it hurt anybody, even if there is a possibility of this?
Right, and aspirin efficacy has to do with cardiovascular risk.
Yes.
And not everyone has high cardiovascular risk.
Well, they will.
Therefore, blanket therapy with aspirin is not appropriate for all patients.
Okay. All right. Okay. So now the change in the guide. What exactly are the change in the guidelines?
Well, the change in the guidelines have to do again with the utility of aspirin as a preventative agent in patients who've never had a cardiovascular event, and these guidelines state that there should be an assessment of cardiovascular risk to determine appropriate therapy.
All right, I understand that
for prevention, and that really is it's a complex issue that really is best reviewed with the patient by the treating physician.
All right.
So you're right. Not every patient for primary prevention should be on aspirin, and it all has to do with the risk of the patient. And even those patients who have never had an event, if the physician deems they are at high cardiovascular risk, the new guidelines do support aspirin in those patients.
Okay, but my question is, if you haven't had an event and your doctor tells you to go on it or doesn't, is it safe for anybody at a certain age to indeed take a low dosage once a day on their own? I know that you, as a doctor, you can't recommend that, but is it safe enough to do that?
Well, I think again, it's the decision is made by the expert, the treating physician, and so the doctor will determine whether it's safe for you to do it or not. And it really depends upon a good synthesis, interpretation, analysis of your cardiovascular risk factors.
Okay. Now, if you have been prescribed or you do this every day, I think your point is don't just stop doing it on your own.
That's a great point that you made. It's not just true with aspirin, but it's true with all medication. Yeah. I just want to state that aspirin is given for an important reason by the treating physician. It's an important drug that's given to prevent potential serious events like heart attack and stroke.
Okay. If anyone has questions beyond this, where would they go?
Well, I think a good source is bayeraspirin.com, which is a good website that really is directed towards the patient and puts the recommendations and puts it all into perspective for the patient.
Okay. I don't know if you can answer this as a doctor. I think I'll just make a comment. I always go for brand names, and I'll tell you why. Because I believe that they would have better safety measures. They're more consistent. The quality is higher because there are so many different brands of aspirin generically, brands that are labeled by the pharmacy, like the CVS brand or Walgreens brand, that kind of thing. Does that make a difference quality control-wise? I don't know if you can answer that or not.
Well, I really can't comment on the quality control of other manufacturers of aspirin, but what I can tell you is that that the studies that have been conducted with aspirin over the decades has been done with branded aspirin.
Right.
So the totality of the evidence base that we use to treat patients comes from those studies.
Good. Okay. Yeah, I don't fool around with that kind of stuff personally. I go for the brands that have been around for a long time and have apparently have a track record. Okay, doctor, we can go to bearaspirin.com for more information. And thank you for the update about how to handle this particular situation.
Thanks very much.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There you have it. This has been exciting. Well, I'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new show. I hope you join me then. Otherwise, I'm going to have to eat alone, and I can't do that. So have yourselves a wonderful day. I wish you peace. Oh, boy, that's enough.